What a day here today. Beautiful day outside, beautiful people inside, all friends, family. It's what the unions and the trades and all these other organizations are all about. So I'd like to welcome you here today to Carpenters, Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters. My name is Steve Mazza, and we're going to have a great day today, bringing Josh Shapiro another 4 years. Governor Shapiro has brought people together to get stuff done for all Pennsylvanians, from creating jobs, putting money back in people's pockets, to investing in law enforcement and community organizations to increase public safety, and to delivering historic funding for our kids' education, to protecting our own issues and freedoms in our democracy. Governor Shapiro has delivered results. In moments of crisis and emergency, he has proven every day that he is a governor who fights for all of us. Now he is running for re-election to keep getting stuff done and keep our Commonwealth moving forward. And I know from working for this organization in this building and the building trades and everyone that works in construction has been very appreciative of what Governor Shapiro has done and plans to bring more. Governor Shapiro is focused on economic growth that is built by union labor and provides good paying jobs. His administration has made clear that construction and downtown conversion projects should create family-sustaining union jobs, not the race to the bottom like a lot of the others developers and elected officials are trying to do to us every single day. Shapiro has consistently partnered with organized labor to ensure workers benefit directly from Pennsylvania's growth. That's a living wage. That's the ability to retire with dignity. You have medical. You can take care of your family, feed your families when costs are rising every single day. Governor Shapiro dramatically expanded registered apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship programs, which are the backbone of union trades like carpentry and all the other trades that belong to the building trades. Since taking office, the Shapiro administration has enrolled almost 18,000 new apprentices and more than 3,000 additional students enrolled in CTE programs and VOTEC programs. These programs ensure the local workers are first in line for construction and redevelopment jobs. His investments mean young people can earn while they learn, enter the trades without college debt, and build long-term union careers. And have the belief that they can create generational wealth, have a home, raise their kids with dignity. That's a big part of what we do with these organizations out there. Governor Shapiro launched his historic 10-year plan to revitalize downtown Pittsburgh, attracting nearly $600 million in public and private investments. That means the Esplanade project, which is about a $700–800 million project. The downtown conversion projects, the biggest project in the country, Montgomery Lock and Dam, which we need that infrastructure work as well, to bring the dollars, the RCAP funding, the grant dollars, the matching funds to help developers build things. Governor Shapiro increased funding for VOTEC career and technical education. And apprentices by $65 million, a 50% increase since he came into office. Since Governor Shapiro took office, his administration has supported the creation of more than 200 new apprenticeship programs. And that's very important to all of us. Pre-apprenticeship programs, workforce development, things that affect our kids every day. A lot of times kids can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't know what kind of job they're going to take. They don't know if they can actually get a job and feed their families. So we have to help these kids every day to understand that. These investments ensure Pennsylvania construction workforce is trained, certified, and ready for major redevelopment projects. In his first 2 years, Governor Shapiro's Department of Labor and Industry returned more than $8.94 million in stolen wages to workers. In our industry, a lot of us have to worry about wage theft and tax fraud. That means labor brokers, third-tier subcontractors, no insurance, no workers' comp, exploited workforce, whatever you want to say. These people are out there trying to bring a race to the bottom for all construction jobs. This affects not only union, it affects non-union as well, because they'll either have to go that route or they'll go out of business. So we have to try to protect that. Him and his team, when he's in the AG's office with Secretary of Labor Nancy Walker, created that opportunity for us to stop this type of work going on out there. And we appreciate that every day. Under Governor Shapiro, Pennsylvania's unemployment rate has remained at or below the national average for more than 2 years. This reflects the labor market where workers have real opportunity and stability. Shapiro's approach proves you can grow the economy by backing unions and creating opportunities for working people. And the carpenters, and I know all the other trades that are in the building and out there, and all the construction workers working with a collective bargaining agreement or who has a collective bargaining agreement, appreciates Governor Shapiro, and we want to bring him back for 4 more years. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Tim O'Ballis.
Good afternoon. My name is Tim O'Ballis, short for Timothy. I'm a third-year apprentice in the Carpenters Union. I cannot say all the good things that have happened to me since I joined the Carpenters Union. Steve mentioned a few things. It's benefits, it's a good pay, it's a retirement, it's security for my daughter. Governor Shapiro has made all of this happen, and he's going to continue to do it. I'm pretty overwhelmed, to be honest with you. Thank you. I probably don't look like an apprentice to most people because I'm 52 years old. But the training that I get and that I know that I get in the carpenters, other trades get, it's all world-class training. It's all designed to improve my life, give me a career and something to look forward to. I look forward to the next term with Governor Shapiro. Thank you so much.
Please welcome to the stage Pennsylvania Democratic Party Chair Eugene DePasquale.
We can do a little better. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Do we have anybody from organized labor in the House? Do we have any Democrats in the House? And do we have anyone here committed to re-electing our governor and lieutenant governor in the House? My name is Eugene DePasquale, and I'm honored to be your chair in this re-election fight for the governor and the lieutenant governor. See, the governor and I go back, kind of scary now, 20 years. We served in the General Assembly together. We were on the Budget Committee together. We were on the Judiciary Committee together. And I saw firsthand that he knows what it takes to get stuff done. Together, we not only passed a bill to ban texting while driving, we made historic investments in public education, making Pennsylvania a leader in the country. We made sure that we passed laws to protect our consumers and make our communities safer. And we did all that sometimes even when we were in the minority, because I know the relentlessness and the leadership that it takes from Governor Shapiro to get stuff done. Now, we are in the midst of a re-election campaign. And today we launch that off across this state. And we've seen over the last 4 years what this governor can do when it comes to getting stuff done. Cutting red tape so businesses have a better chance to start and to thrive. Making historic investments into public education so that every child in Pennsylvania has an equal opportunity to succeed. And smart and tough decisions on public safety to make sure that every Pennsylvanian is feeling safe. That's the leadership we have under Governor Shapiro. Now, when he called me and asked me to do this, meaning to be your chair, you know, I know the joke is I probably should have pretended like my cell phone wasn't working, because the governor didn't sugarcoat it. We've got a lot of work to do, and it's not just about re-electing the governor and the lieutenant governor. Right here in Pennsylvania, we have the chance not only to expand our state house majority, not only to flip the state senate, but to make Donald Trump a lame duck. If and when we re-elect Summer Lee and Chris Deluzio out west. We run tough campaigns against every Republican incumbent, and we flip 4 congressional seats out east. When we do that, we will show what it's like to end the chaos of Washington and bring strong, tough leadership not only to Washington, but to keep it going in Pennsylvania. That's our job this year. Win these elections, end the chaos, keep moving Pennsylvania forward under the leadership of Governor Shapiro and Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. Let's get to work. Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor.
Good afternoon, Western Pennsylvania. It is an honor to have Governor Shapiro and Lieutenant Governor Davis announce their re-election bid right here in Western PA. And look at the support we have from all of our unions, because Pennsylvania is a union state. Where are all of our unions out in the audience? Thank you very much for being here. And I'm here to talk about what they've already accomplished in Western Pennsylvania. Right now, just a couple miles down the road, working with the county, we have a brand new couple $2 billion airport. That airport next year is going to welcome, actually I shouldn't say next year, probably within 100 days, is going to be welcoming hundreds of thousands of visitors from across the country and the world for the NFL draft. That draft would not have come to Pittsburgh without the help of Governor Shapiro. The support that the state has made in our city to get us ready for that, not just readying up highways and neighborhoods, but also making sure that we've invested in Market Square, in Arts Landing, and of course, in the heart and soul of downtown Point State Park. Those are $1 million investments that are going to benefit us long-term, not just for the NFL draft. But Governor Shapiro has always made it a process that Pittsburgh can succeed, and that is most important. He's been a great leader. He's been a great partner. And Monday at my inauguration, he was a great babysitter. He sat next to my 2-year-old for an hour. And that's really why I want to thank him. Yes. But we need to have him elected for 4 more years And Eugene didn't say it, but I'll say it, because we have to get shit done in Pennsylvania. And look at what we've already done. Speeding up the permitting process. That means Pennsylvania's open for business, and for us in Western Pennsylvania, that means Pittsburgh's open for business. So that we can create jobs, create opportunities for individuals that didn't have it before. He's already invested in universal breakfast at all of our schools across Pennsylvania. A record $12 million investment in public education. These are basic things that make it easier to raise your families in Pennsylvania. And it's not just all good that they've done. We need to re-elect Governor Shapiro because we have to defend our freedoms from Donald Trump and his allies over the next few years. These are individuals that believe in gutting our health care, terrorizing our communities, make everyday life unaffordable for working class families in Pennsylvania, and make life less fair for those Pennsylvanians. So we need to send our governor back to Harrisburg to fight for us, for our families, for our children, for the future of Pennsylvania. So thank you all for being here, and let's re-elect Governor Shapiro and Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Allegheny County Executive Sarah Innamorato.
Hello, Pittsburgh! How we feeling? Are we ready for 4 more years? Yes! And I have no doubt how much Governor Shapiro believes in Allegheny County and how he prioritizes us. I mean, for a guy who lives on the other side of the state and is an Eagles fan, which we won't hold against him, he has put Allegheny County natives in top leadership positions in his administration. Allegheny County's own Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, and of course, Economic Development Director Rick Seiger. And he has been an incredible partner to me and my administration. You guys are going to hear this a lot. He has that GSD mindset, and you guys are going to say it with me. It's get shit done. That's right. And this isn't a governor that just talks the talk. He walks the walk every day. I know firsthand that he will show up in the good times and in the difficult times. So I want to spend just a moment with you telling you about how he has been an incredible partner to me as county executive and to the people here in Allegheny County. Last April, we had an incredible, unprecedented windstorm, and we had the most widespread power outages that this county had ever seen. And he called me right as I was walking into the press conference to declare a disaster emergency. And he didn't just say, "What do you need? How can I help?" But he said, "Give me a few hours, I'll be there." And he got right on the ground, right. He shows up. He got here, we went to Fiore's, if you know, you know. They had just lost their roof, but we spent some time with the family. We've got some pizzas, we took them over to Regent Square. We talked to the folks who, had witnessed firsthand trees falling on their cars and their homes. The kids were out there recounting what had happened. The parents were excited to get them back into school. But a bunch of other leaders showed up, and they talked about how they were concerned about how their neighbors who were on SNAP didn't have refrigeration for their food and that they would go hungry for the month. So he really unlocked resources to make sure that we could rebuild and that we could care for our neighbors in need. This summer, we had a fatal explosion at the U.S. Steel Clarendon plant. It caused incredible damage and 2 deaths of workers who were on site that day. He showed up. He came, he met with the families, he met with the workers, he offered condolences and comfort in a really difficult time for that union, for that workplace, and for our region. And yes, he showed up, and it was about compassion, and it was about hearing the stories of the people who were impacted. But he also offered the county tangible support. You know, that's how we got additional mobile air monitoring so we could do more tests and really provide reassurance to the community that they were in fact safe as well. But this is a man who also shows up in the good times, and oftentimes he shows up with that big check that makes me real happy. We know that this administration has been competitive as hell when it comes to job creation. You know, strategic investments in job creators like EOS are positioning us for an economic transformation and new clean tech economy, one that lifts up union workers, communities, and our economy here in Western Pennsylvania and across Pennsylvania. And you heard it from our mayor that he was the keystone in our downtown revitalization plan for the Golden Triangle. That's a $600 million public-private investment into downtown for, yes, a new Point State Park, a rehab market square, an amazing new arts landing, as well as hundreds of new residential units. I could go on how he's been an incredible partner and the investments that he made in childcare, in housing, in public safety. These are not just investments in physical infrastructure. This is an investment in our people here in Allegheny County. We've seen so many groundbreakings recently, like the one over in Esplanade, and we need him back for those ribbon cuttings because there'll be a lot of them. So in Allegheny County, this governor, he has our backs. So let's send him back to Harrisburg for 4 more years.
Please welcome to the stage Lindsay Ramsey.
Hey everybody, I'm going to take it slow today. As you can see, I'm carrying a little extra, so if I run out of breath or start crying, it's just the hormones. My name is Lindsay Ramsey. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Boys and Girls Club of Western Pennsylvania, where we have 11 sites that serve over 11,000 youth and families with high quality out-of-school time care and mentoring support. Before I got there, I started as an early childhood educator. On top of that, I was a single mom starting out in the field. So I got to see the highs and the lows and learn a lot about the beauty and the struggle of not only being a parent, but also being an educator and doing work that support our children, families, and communities. So we're going to talk a little bit about that for a second. I'm going to start out as a parent. Entering the field as a teen mom, I did not know about being a mother, let alone being about an educator. And I was surrounded by wonderful, hardworking, predominantly women in the field who held my hand and helped guide me and support me as a parent, and guide me to resources that supported my child. helped me learn about development of children, and also helped me learn about caring for myself so I could be a better parent for my child. With that being said, there was also a struggle. Being an early childhood educator in the field and also being a parent, at that time I was only making $7.50 an hour. Needless to say, making ends meet and doing the work that I love to do was really hard, and it was hard for me to afford childcare for my own child. As we moved through and I began to see more as a teacher myself, I saw that the parents and families that I was serving were having the same struggles. They were having a hard time affording formula, diapers, the essentials that they needed to care for their children so they could be comfortable and confident to return to work every day and show up as a citizen. I began to learn my place as an importance as an educator from seeing the way that we impacted children every single day, and more greatly, how we impacted families to help support their child. Because a parent is a child's first caregiver. So I turned to advocacy. After many years of being an educator, I turned to advocacy, and one of my first advocacy visits was with our Lieutenant Governor, Austin Davis. So we were able to visit a pre-K counts program in his stomping grounds at Duquesne City School. And this was one of my first visits and one of his first visits. And I had to act real confident with this because I'm an advocate now. I'm working with elected officials. And he sat down immediately in the classroom, crisscross applesauce on the floor with the kids, and began to read a story. As he read that story, he was interrupted by a little girl. And the little girl was just like telling him, you know, kids will tell you anything. If you look like a smiling face, they're gonna tell you anything. And she just started pouring her heart out to him, talking about what was going on at home, talking about how mommy and daddy were fighting and arguing and things like that. And Austin, he was like, okay, all right, comforting the little girl, taking it all in. He continued to make his way through the book. And afterwards, he pulled me aside. You would have thought I paid this little girl, by the way, because I was like, this is exactly what we need to help him understand why we need these places. But he pulled me aside afterwards, and he said, Lindsay, what can I do to help support this work? I want to be a champion. I want to make change. Going through all those years as an educator, and hearing that somebody really wanted to make change to help support work that may seem minimal, but is a huge impact on our communities, that filled my heart. And he kept his word. And along with him keeping his word, he brought that to our governor, Shapiro, and he kept his word. And throughout time, we've been able to support initiatives that directly impact our children by way of families, by way of educators, by way of our communities. And I am so thankful to have an administration that cares and that understands that if we come together as a community and support each other, that creates capacity for us to be able to love ourselves. And in turn, it makes a full circle, and we will have a village here. So, just to run down a couple things that I'm very proud of. On top of being a listening ear and a shoulder to cry on, our Shapiro administration has implemented child and dependent tax credits. That's put over $800 in tax credits yearly for our families, for hundreds of thousands of Pennsylvanians. In addition to that, They've made focuses on increasing professional development for our educators to support high-quality services for children and families so that we can continue as parents to be comfortable with our children being in care. And for the first time ever in history, we have had a child care workforce line item to support retention bonuses for our educators so they don't have to worry as much about fighting for the increase in the value of their work. And they know that there's a pathway in an administration that's going to keep on pressing for more. And I have to keep it G, guys, because I worked with kids. So we're going to get stuff done here. And we would not be able to do it without the Shapiro administration. Thank you all so much.
Please welcome to the stage Digital Director of Shapiro for Pennsylvania, Emma Winey.
Hello, Pittsburgh. My name is Emma Winey, and I am the Shapiro for Pennsylvania Digital Director. It's so wonderful to be up here with all of you and truly an honor to work for the Shapiro-Davis campaign. I know we're only a few speakers away from hearing from our incredible Lieutenant Governor and Governor, so I won't keep you long, but I just wanted to say a few words about how you can get involved and stay involved with our campaign. Look, we all have agency, and with that, real power. And especially in this moment, we need to use it. So I'm going to ask you to do 3 things today. Number 1, while you're here today, take out your phones and take some pictures and videos. Maybe it's a selfie with your row, maybe you use one of the disposable cameras floating throughout the room, or perhaps it's a photo in your new Team Shapiro merch. Whatever it is, capture this moment and capture this feeling of being a part of something bigger. All right, number 2, share it online and tell people why you're here, why you're hopeful for Pennsylvania's future, why you're proud to be on Team Shapiro, and why you are fired up to re-elect our governor. Look, spreading our message online is more important than ever before. People trust you. Your friends and neighbors, they care what you have to say. So I'm asking you to use your voice and use your power to keep moving Pennsylvania forward. All right, number 3, stay involved. We have a long road ahead of us, and we need your help to ensure Governor Shapiro can keep getting shit done for Pennsylvania. So my final ask, take out your phones and text GSD to 32210 to stay involved. Look, in a moment where we feel so divided, I want you all to know that you have a place here in this campaign. And whether you're here in person at an event like this, sharing content online, sporting our Team Shapiro t-shirts around Pennsylvania, knocking on doors, or pitching in $1 or $2, we are so lucky to have you on our team. Because together, we are going to re-elect Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis and Governor Josh Shapiro. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage President of the Allegheny Fayette Labor Council, Darren Kelly.
My friends, it's great to see everyone. How we doing today? You know, one thing about sitting in the back of the room, you get a chance to listen to what everyone has to say. We hear a lot of stats. So important. I'm not here to talk about stats. You all know me. You know the way. I'm going to go right from the hip. It's time to go down memory lane a little bit. You know, it's very easy now, all of us, very cynical of what we see in politics, right? You see it everywhere. You see division. You see fear. And I want to take you all back to June of 2019. Y'all remember what was happening here? You remember the fight between UPMC and Highmark? Do you remember that? Do you remember all of us what we went through? It was probably the most troubling time that we did together. Was my child going to have access to health care? Was my mom going to be safe? You remember that? And how many elected officials walked away from that fight? There's a contract. I can't deal with it. One young attorney general decided to get engaged with 10 days left and saved our region. Y'all remember that? That ain't fact. Or that ain't fiction. That's fact. So when we talk about things like that at an early age, we realized that this was a person that was going to take people over profit. Good over evil. And you know what's funny? As we look at it now, some parties like to pay politics with your health care. Some people protect you. Can you hear me? Yeah. So when we go forward and your children or your grandchildren ask you, Mom, Dad, Granddad, Grandma, why are things so crazy? You look them in the eye and you tell them, there's still some great people in this world. There's still some elected officials that go to bed every night and wake up every day with the people in mind. That sit there and will call the leaders of unions when someone gets hurt. How are your people? Not on camera to call you and say, how are your people? Because this governor that we have right now knows the most important infrastructure of this state is its people. Am I right? So at a young age, we've seen courage, we've seen commitment, which leads us to where we are now, right? I'm going to say one more quick thing before we get off. I've been hearing this saying, get shit done. I'm changing that. Brothers, sisters, Josh Shapiro has gotten shit done already. Every day.
Please welcome to the stage Executive Director at Cafe Momentum Pittsburgh, Cheyenne Tyler.
I stand here with over 15 years of experience doing this work. Inside correctional facilities, overseeing school-based violence intervention programs, and working closely with community probation as well as the court systems. And now I'm leading a workforce development organization designed exclusively for young people impacted by the juvenile justice system. And here's what I know. People do not fail because they lack potential. People do not fail because they don't care or they are undermotivated. People fail because they are physically and psychologically unsafe. They fail because opportunity is out of their reach. They fail because their communities have historically been underinvested in. Over the past 2 years, the Shapiro and Davis administration has awarded more than $85 million in violence intervention and prevention funds. Absolutely. That deserves some more praise, doesn't it? Right? $85 million in violence intervention and prevention funds to community organizations across our Commonwealth. They did that because they understand violence prevention efforts as a critical part of reducing crime and creating safe communities for all. I'll share a story about what that investment looks like with my organization. A 17-year-old male witnessed gun violence, on juvenile probation, and owes hundreds of dollars in court fees. He's struggling academically, lacked guidance, and he had no hope. He participated in our program for over 16 months, not because he was court ordered, but because we created a safe and supportive environment for him to flourish. We surrounded him with academic support, mentorship, and we ensured access to mental health services, taught him essential life skills, exposed him to high-demand careers across our region, and he gained real work experience that provided him with a livable wage along receiving comprehensive career readiness training. Today, that young man is not only a high school graduate, he completed a trade program at the top of his class and is now gainfully employed. He is no longer involved in the legal system and is debt-free, and he now gleams with confidence about his future. This is just one example of the many that proves that Governor Shapiro and Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis do not define people based off of their mistakes or their zip codes, but they fight for all of us. This administration understands that when we invest in intervention and prevention, fewer young people enter the legal system, fewer people become victims, and communities are stronger and safer for everyone. We need this administration to continue our fight for the next 4 years. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I have the privilege of introducing a longtime friend, a champion of this work, an individual that has come into our space, shared stories, learned from, and broke bread with our young people. My friend, your Lieutenant Governor, Austin Davis.
Hello, Pennsylvania. It's so great to be with all of you here in Pittsburgh and my home community here in Western Pennsylvania. You know, these last 3 years, serving as your Lieutenant Governor have been one of the highest honors of my life. Every single day, I've been laser focused on what really matters here in Pennsylvania. Our families, our communities, and the responsibilities that we have to one another. And while I didn't know where this work would take me when I started, I've always known why I was doing it. I didn't get involved in public service for a title or for a spotlight. I got involved because of what I saw as a kid growing up in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. When I was 16 years old and a man was shot on my block, I remember standing there and feeling helpless. I remember my sense of safety and security being shattered. And I remember thinking that nobody should have to live in a community where they don't feel safe. That no parent should have to wonder whether their child is going to make it home at night. And no family should do everything right, work hard, show up, play by the rules, and still live with that fear hanging over them. That moment has never left me. And from that point on, I knew that the people closest to the pain should be closest to the power. That experience and that belief led me to my first city council meeting. It led me to run for office, and it's still what drives me today. I'm proud to grow up in McKeesport, in a working class community and a working class family where I learned what community meant. That it's about looking out for one another. That dignity isn't something you earn, it's something that everyone deserves. That safety, opportunity, and a fair shot at life should never depend on your zip code or how you grew up. And that we have a responsibility to show up to give back and to fight for one another. That's why I chose to step forward. That's why I've stayed in this fight. But over the last few years, this work has become even more personal for me. Not only was I given the awesome honor of serving you, meeting people in every corner of Pennsylvania, from schools here in Allegheny County to union halls in Erie to barbershops in Philadelphia, but I also became a dad for the first time to the most beautiful little girl in the world, my daughter Harper. Becoming Harper's dad changed everything for me. It changed why I wake up in the morning. It gave new meaning to every decision that I make as your lieutenant governor and in my life. And it made me fight even harder for the kind of Pennsylvania I want her to grow up in. I'm so proud that Harper is here today. And sweetheart, I love you more than words can describe. You're not just my greatest joy, you're my greatest motivation. Everything I do with your future in mind. And I promise you this, I'll do everything in my power to leave you a Pennsylvania and a country that is safer, fairer, and more hopeful than the one I inherited. And I want to be clear, that's what I want for all of Pennsylvania's children. And God willing, with all of your help, we'll keep that promise. That's why what we do now matters more than ever. Because while we're focused on building a brighter future for families here in Pennsylvania, we can't ignore what's going on all around us and in Washington, D.C. We're watching prices climb while the richest and most powerful pull further ahead. We're seeing families torn apart in the name of law and order while the connected are given a free pass and corruption goes unchecked. And political violence, chaos, and attacks on our Constitution and our democracy are treated like routine news, brushed off instead of confronted. This past year was marked by reckless decisions, crisis after crisis, and fear and dysfunction used as a political weapon. But here in Pennsylvania, we've chosen a different path. We've put progress over partisanship, compassion over division, and solutions that work above all else. We've shown leadership that expands opportunity instead of restricting it. Leadership that fights with hope, not fear. And leadership that gets shit done. We've been focused on real progress for families across this Commonwealth. As a new dad, I know firsthand how hard it is to find high-quality, affordable childcare. That's why we secured $25 million for our new childcare recruitment and retention program. Delivering bonuses to more than 50,000 childcare workers across Pennsylvania, so the people caring for our most precious resource have the support they deserve. We tripled the childcare tax credit, putting real money back in the pockets of working families. We've taken action to address violence in our communities, restoring the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, investing millions to support law enforcement, and funding community-based organizations that are doing the work to keep our community safe. And for the first time ever, we invested in after-school programs. Not only to keep kids off the streets, but to give them a safe place to go and a sense of community. We've done a lot, but we all know this work is far from over. That's why I'm proud to announce that I'm running for re-election as your lieutenant governor. with my friend Governor Shapiro, because there is still so much more that we can and must do for the future of our children, for the working women and men of our Commonwealth, and for all of those for far too long have felt forgotten or left behind. That's why I want to speak directly to them. To every parent working the night shift to give their child a fair shot, to every small town kid looking for a path to make a better life for themselves, to every family working full time and still worrying about how they're going to make ends meet, I see you and I hear you. I understand what you're facing because I've lived it. And I want you to know that Josh and I will always have your back. And we're going to keep fighting for you, for your children, and for your future right here in Pennsylvania. Politicians love to talk about the American dream, but too often they just don't get it. They get lost in talking points and miss the people standing right in front of them. As the proud son of an ATU union bus driver, and a hairdresser, my parents, Kathy and Ankery, are here with us today. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I know what it's like to grow up in a family that had to get creative to make ends meet. I know the power of public schools and teachers who believed in me, and of mentors who taught me the meaning of service. It was because of a community like that, one that loved one another and cared for one another, that a kid from an old steel town, often overlooked by the powers in Washington and Harrisburg, is standing here before you as Pennsylvania's first black lieutenant governor. That's the American dream, and it's alive and well here in Pennsylvania. But this story isn't just about me. It's so much larger than that. It's about what's possible when we invest in people and believe in one another. And it's about being clear-eyed and honest about what this moment calls for and the leadership it takes to meet it. Because things are very different than when Josh and I first got elected. The stakes are higher than they've ever been. We can follow the politics of fear and division coming out of politicians in Washington, or we can stand up for our freedom, make our own choices, and show the nation what's possible when steady leadership is at the helm. I know Pennsylvanians will make the right choice because we are the backbone of the American democracy. The ideals that shape this nation were born here. And every time we've been doubted, we've answered the call. We fought to make sure that no matter where you come from or what you look like, this Commonwealth will always be a place where you can create your own destiny and live the American dream. We've made history together, but this campaign isn't about the past, it's about the future. It's about protecting the future. It's not about politics, it's about people. And it's not about red jerseys and blue jerseys, it's about wearing the Pennsylvania jersey. And as we approach the 250th anniversary of our country, we're reminded of something deeply important. This is where the great American experiment began, right here in this Commonwealth. This was the birthplace of the Revolution. And even though hundreds of years have passed since that first spark was lit, that flame has never died. I saw it in my grandparents, one a steelworker, the other a railroad foreman, who came here from the South to build a better life for our family. I see it in my wife, Blair, the best mother I know, who, I think that's my daughter crying over there, who somehow manages to raise our daughter, support our family, and show up every day to serve our community as Pennsylvania's second lady. I see it in my daughter Harper, who at 2 years old is already a force to be reckoned with. And I see it in my friend and in our governor, Josh Shapiro. Someone who has never backed down from a fight. Someone who spoke truth to power when politicians in Washington tried to force their chaos and dangerous policies onto Pennsylvania. And someone who understands that leadership is about responsibility and service, not recognition. When Josh and his family were targeted by political violence, when their home was set on fire in the middle of the night, I watched how he showed up. First as a father protecting his family, then as a leader refusing to let fear or division pull this Commonwealth off its course. That kind of service is exactly what this moment demands. And that's why I'm proud to stand beside him as his governing partner and as your Lieutenant Governor. Over the past 3 years, Josh has become more than a partner in this work. He's become a friend and someone I know I can count on. And no matter the moment, whether we're talking about how to support families across Pennsylvania or I'm calling him late at night when I need advice on how to get Harper to sleep, I can always count on him. And I'm here to tell you, Pennsylvania, you can always count on him because he's always been in your corner. It's my pleasure to introduce my friend, the 48th Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro.
Y'all ready to run it back? Yeah. I got to tell you, it is great to be here with our accomplished Lieutenant Governor, a native son of Western Pennsylvania, and my partner in leading our Commonwealth forward, Austin Davis. LG, I just want to thank you for your friendship. I want to thank you for your dedication to service, and I feel blessed to have you as a governing partner, and I look forward to continuing to deliver for this Commonwealth as a team for years to come. Thank you very, very much. And I want to say a special thanks to our second lady, Blair Holmes Davis, for everything you do in our community. And you can let Harper cry all she wants. I love hearing it. Lori and I so appreciate your friendship, your grace, and by the way, your underrated humor. And I want you to know, we're hopeful. You got a little magic up your sleeve Monday night to bring about a Steelers victory here in the playoffs. I know, as you all know, for me, public service is grounded in my faith and in my family. My faith has called me to serve others with empathy and a devotion to repairing the world around me. You know, I was taught as a young boy to look out for others. And Laura and I have tried to raise our 4 children with that same commitment to caring about the world around them. So let me begin by saying to the most important people in my life, Lori, my high school sweetheart, and your first lady, and to our children, Sophia, Jonah, Max, and Ruben, thank you for your unconditional love. Thank you for your willingness to make sacrifices so we could lead this life of service. I love you guys so much. I got to tell you, as I look out here today, I want you to know I feel your love and support. I also feel the power of the responsibility of hope and optimism that you have placed in me. And I'm humbled by that. I see those who have been there for me every step of the way in this journey in service. Those who are going to power our campaign, those who serve our communities as elected leaders, and those who organize block by block and just give a damn about our Commonwealth. I also see the people who are here, who are the reason why I do what I do. You've had me on your farms, to your training centers, your small businesses, your schools, your homes, and you've given me the gift of having the chance to listen. It's been through those honest conversations in rural, urban, and suburban communities alike that I've learned so much and worked hard to deliver each and every day for this Commonwealth and to be a governor for all Pennsylvanians.
And when you really listen, most Pennsylvanians want the same few things. They want good schools for their kids and grandkids, safe communities, economic opportunities where they can get ahead. They want to dream big dreams and be able to afford to live in the communities they love. They want their rights and their freedoms protected. They want to pass on a better world to their kids than the one they inherited. Look, we may not all agree on exactly how to get there, but what's clear is every single Pennsylvanian should have the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed, no matter what you look like, no matter where you come from or who you love or who you pray to or choose not to pray to. I see a whole lot of folks in this Union Hall who are living that, who are succeeding and finding real opportunities right here in Pennsylvania. The apprentices, especially, like Timo, who you heard from earlier, whose hands are going to revitalize our downtown, generate more energy, and repair our bridges, who are learning a skill to not only benefit themselves and be able to put food on their own family's table, but who in turn leave us all better off. You exemplify our shared ideology, the discipline of hard work. Work that is committed to restoring confidence and security for the good people of Pennsylvania. Work that is to be respected in our society. You're part of that unwritten compact in our democratic society. Work hard, play by the rules, earn a good wage, and have a government that works just as hard for you as you work to build out a nation for us. And so, whether you're a carpenter like Timo, a teacher, a cop, a firefighter, you go to work every single day trying to fix things, to build things to support your neighbor, and to ensure the next generation has a real shot. And you deserve someone focused on solving your problems, not creating more obstacles. Someone who goes to work for you every day, focused on you and on getting stuff done. That's what I've tried to do. I went to your schools and I listened. I saw we needed more teachers. Students needed professionals they could talk to. And our schools were being chronically underfunded. So I brought people together and we did something about it. Now we're giving our children a strong foundation to build their future. We increased public education funding by nearly 30%. Yeah. And finally, after decades of inaction, we're driving those dollars out to the schools that need it most. Nearly 800 schools hired mental health counselors, and we made universal free breakfast the law here in Pennsylvania. And hear me on this, at a time when some ridicule those with unique needs, we invested more in special education here in Pennsylvania. We increased funding for VOTEC and CTE and apprenticeships by more than 50% to open up new pathways to opportunity. Think about this, over 34,000 Pennsylvanians have now entered apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship programs, and the number of teachers is growing for the first time in years. Graduation rates are up, school attendance is up, test scores are rising, and the foundation for a better future is being laid. You know, I walk the beat with our police, and I mourn with families who lost a loved one to gun violence. Those kids and all of our neighbors, they deserve to be safe and feel safe in their communities. So we all came together, and we funded nearly 2,000 more law enforcement in our communities. At the same time, under the great leadership of Lt Gov Davis, we expanded after-school programs and violence intervention initiatives centered in our communities. And as a result of this work, violent crime is down 12% and gun violence is down 42% in Pennsylvania. Be safe and feel safe. You know, I watched for too many years as businesses chose elsewhere and jobs left our main streets. If we want Pennsylvanians to stay in the communities they love, to raise their kids there, then we need to create economic opportunities in every county, rural, urban, and suburban. I'm proud of the fact that we've put Pennsylvania on the map again when it comes to economic development, and the data shows it's working. Think about this. Think about this. For 30 straight months, Pennsylvania's unemployment rate has remained at or below the national average. We landed the largest private sector investment in the history of our Commonwealth and brought in, so far, over $35 billion in private sector investment. That is leading to the creation of more than 18,000 new jobs across our Commonwealth. From those who are doing research in our life sciences labs to over 10,000 members of the building and construction trades building out the technology of our future, to our farmers and our ag producers who take on the noble work of feeding people. We've done all that together. We fixed our broken permitting system to guarantee speed to market, and in turn, we have become a national leader on efficient and effective government. We eliminated backlogs and opened up more doors of access. Hear me on this. We're producing more energy today than ever before because our all of the above energy strategy is working in Pennsylvania. We repaired more poor condition bridges than any other state in the nation. And we kept that mass transit system that millions of Pennsylvanians rely on every day up and running. More jobs, more opportunity, and more freedom. Now, we've got the only state economy in the Northeast that's growing. We made strategic investments all while protecting those in need, from our seniors to those who live with disabilities, but who have so much to offer if just given the chance. You know, there were forces in Harrisburg who wanted to rip away health care coverage and take away food assistance, but I stood tall and we stopped them. We stopped them. I've also seen the concern of parents who are just trying to provide for their kids, only to see their hard-earned dollar not going so far. So I brought people together to cut taxes in Pennsylvania 7 times. 7 times. We put money back in the pockets of seniors and small businesses, families with child care costs, and working Pennsylvanians who are struggling to get by. Over 400,000 seniors got a tax cut on my watch. 219,000 Pennsylvania families got a tax cut to pay for child care. And now, nearly 1 million hardworking Pennsylvanians will get a tax cut up to $800 this year. Our kids are getting a better quality education. Our communities are safer. Our economy is growing. And we're putting money back in people's pockets. And through it all, you, the good people of Pennsylvania, y'all have been my North Star. And so I came back here today to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to listen to you and to serve you. I'm also here to say we've only just begun. We've got more stuff to do. We've got more people to help, and we've got more problems to solve. And so, with a servant's heart and an ear to your concerns, progress made, and with a hunger to do more for you, I am here to announce that I am running for re-election as governor of this great Commonwealth. And while we celebrate our many successes and see that the sky is unlimited and that opportunity is real for more of our fellow Pennsylvanians, we know that the floor is too hard for others. We need to protect the possibility of success while making life more affordable for those struggling to get by, care for those who are sick, and ensure that the economic changes of tomorrow lift up all Pennsylvanians and leave no one behind. We have more to do to cut costs and give more Pennsylvanians a chance to get ahead. So we're going to build on that work that we've done to cut taxes and put more money back in your pockets. The work continues and the mission is not yet complete. We've got more to do, from raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour in Pennsylvania. To helping more Pennsylvanians achieve the dream of owning their own home and putting an affordable roof over their head, to producing more energy while protecting our environment, to enshrining into law protections for victims of abuse along with our LGBTQ neighbors, to holding those companies accountable who are raising our electric bills. I'm running for re-election to continue that work. And I'm running for re-election because, hear me, I have never backed down from a fight. And right now we are in a battle to protect the very foundation upon which we call home. You know, I'm privileged to serve as the 48th governor and to follow those who came before me, to take up the baton and to carry it forward. That's the way it's always been done since William Penn arrived on the banks of the Delaware River in 1682 aboard a ship named Welcome. Penn wanted to build a place that would be welcoming for all, a place that would be defined by real freedom, with free elections, free expression, and the freedom to worship as you wish as central tenets of our new home. I know all that feels at risk right now. I get it. And listen, it's not possible to tell the story of our accomplishments, about the progress we've made and the lives we've touched without acknowledging the very real challenges to the founding principles of our Commonwealth because of the chaos and the toxicity in D.C. Some politicians who know better are too cowardly to speak up. They abandon their principles. They abandon their principles, and in an attempt to position themselves to be better off, they leave others behind. And that weakness has a real cost. Nearly 500,000 of our neighbors are about to lose their health care. Over 100,000 more will lose their food benefits. And millions are paying more when they go to the grocery store or buy a car or just want to get their kid a gift. Small businesses are struggling, and farmers are losing markets and instead being offered a handout. This type of chaos erodes the progress we've made here in Pennsylvania, and I know it stokes worry, and for some, an impulse to just retreat. I have felt the weight of your worries about losing your freedoms at the hands of politicians who want to control what you read and how you get your health care and deny you your vote. The worry about being unable to feed your kids because that compact that we relied on for generations was just ripped away. That worry I know many young people feel, that the American dream is something they learn about in the history books, but isn't something they see in their future. Every step of the way, I've stood up for my fellow Pennsylvanians, sometimes in a court of law and other times by simply refusing to back down, refusing to cast certain Pennsylvanians aside, and always by speaking truth to power. You know, the 10th Amendment, I'm going to nerd out on you here for a second. The 10th Amendment of our Constitution preserves power to the states and guards against federal overreach. So hear me when I say this. I will not let anyone mess with a Pennsylvanian, and I will always have your backs. Always. That's right. I'll continue to make Pennsylvania a place where a woman's right to choose is the law. Where you can marry who you love and worship as you please, and where the union way of life is protected, because on my watch, Pennsylvania will never be a right-to-work state. Never. Now is not a time for any of us, though, to retreat. It's a time to engage, a time to stand up to the bullies, a time to offer calm in the face of chaos and find ways to come together to defend our progress and our beloved Commonwealth. In these times of challenge, let us take comfort in knowing that progress is possible and that we can work together. We're showing that here in Pennsylvania. And in this time where others want to stoke division, let us commit ourselves to the proposition that no American is my enemy and every American is a partner in the greatest experiment of human governance in the history of the world. We are all descendants of Penn's promise, and we bear the responsibility to carry it forward and continue that work, to find ways to appeal to our better angels instead of succumbing to our worst impulses. You know, the solution for curing the divisions of America is to refuse to become part of them. Refuse the personal attacks, refuse the whitewashing of our shared history, and refuse the scapegoating of others. It means to refuse to allow our party registration to shut us off from our neighbors. Look, I'm a proud Democrat, like many of you here. And I know we have many proud Republicans here as well. Democrat, Republican, Independent, we are all Pennsylvanians first. I'm honored to be a governor for all Pennsylvanians, to reaffirm that no American is my enemy and every American shares a common future, a future grounded in freedom and opportunity with good schools and safe communities, a job in the community you love, and a dream that feels achievable with hard work and dedication. A future where you can get ahead, and when you do, your neighbor can too. A future where your success breeds others to achieve higher heights. And so, my fellow Pennsylvanians, the choice in this race couldn't be clearer. Will we continue to do the hard work of bringing people together to get stuff done? Or will we descend into the chaos and extremism that has gripped too many other places across our nation? Will we build on the promise of Penn and respect the compact that has binded Pennsylvanians together for generations? Or will this be the moment where the compact phrase and the divisions define our future? Will we trust women to make decisions over their own bodies? Trust parents to raise their children? Trust the people to elect their representatives? Or will we undermine the right to vote, eliminate personal freedoms, and restrict our liberties? Will we be consumed by darkness or seek out the light that our neighbors shine? I want to continue to build a Pennsylvania where we value our freedom, we cherish our democracy, and where we show love to our Commonwealth and our country. 3 years ago, we chose to keep darkness and division and extremism out of the governor's office. And, you know, this year they're running that same playbook again. In Pennsylvania, I'm optimistic that we're going to reject it again. We're going to reject it again. And my optimism comes from those of you in this room, the people I've listened to along the way, and all the people who came before us. Let me explain. When the clock struck midnight on New Year's last week, we not only ushered in a new year, we embarked on the celebration of this great nation, a nation that got its start right here in Pennsylvania. 250 years ago, a band of patriots gathered in Philadelphia to declare our independence from a king. Those men knew not what was to come, but they knew that their future and those who would follow would be grounded in the notion of freedom and self-determination. And for as much work as they did for us, the brilliance of their proclamations was that their work was incomplete, and that the job of building the nation would fall to subsequent generations. And in every chapter of our American story, it's been ordinary Pennsylvanians, ordinary Americans who've been called upon to pick up the mantle of leadership, chip away at injustice, push back on intolerance, and make progress for the next generation. Over the last 250 years, we've been willing to do that hard work. Sometimes at the ballot box, sometimes in a town square, and more recently, online. No one is coming to do it for us right now. That task falls to each of us. I know it's easier to see the chaos and just turn off the TV. Retreat and hope someone else does the work. But that is not the Pennsylvania way. And your presence here today proves that. We are a state of builders, a state of doers, and a state of get shit doners. That's what we are. From those founders 250 years ago, to our steel workers who built our cities and towns, to those who descended beneath the surface of the earth to power our Commonwealth and our country and form the arsenal of democracy. But power isn't just wielded in large acts or on big stages. You have enormous power. And today, I'm asking you to use it. Post about why you're here and what's at stake. Have that respectful discussion with your friend who voted differently than you in the last election, but now sees the effects and wants a different way. Volunteer for a shift at your local campaign headquarters. Proudly wear some of that Shapiro merch and show that you believe in empathy, you believe in progress and real results, and that you reject extremism. And don't lose sight of the fact that you've got a privilege to live here in Pennsylvania, the biggest swing state of all that always decides it all. You have the ability right here in your hands in Pennsylvania to decide the balance of power in the U.S. House of Representatives. And you've got the power to help me win a trifecta in Harrisburg, where the legislature is divided by a mere 3 seats. You've got the power to re-elect our history-making Lieutenant Governor and to grant me a new term to keep working my tail off for you. So, I'm going to keep listening. I'm going to keep being a governor for all Pennsylvanians. I'm going to keep on getting stuff done. And through it all, knowing that you have my back, knowing that you truly give a damn about this Commonwealth and are ready to work together to protect our country, well, that inspires me and it gives us all hope. You have the power, and I've got your backs. And together, we're going to win our re-election. We're going to win our re-election. And from here in Pennsylvania, the birthplace of our democracy, we will send a clear message that division does not define us, that progress is still possible when we work together, and that we can build a Commonwealth where everyone has the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. Thank you all so much. God bless you. Now let's get back to work. Thank you.